Federal Reserve notes are taxable. The United States notes are not taxable. That's what really happened to them. That's really why they got murdered. So it's everything is about money. Since banks don't have money, they use your money as collateral and they make bonds in whatever that is. Majority of courts nowadays they're not really courts. They're making bonds in your name and they're locking you up as surety or collateral to the bonds that they made that are in your name. So when your parents sign your birth certificate and they give it to the government, they sign the birth certificate, they give it to your hospital. The hospital registers you as a living person, and then they take it and they give it to the state government. The state government registers you as a living person, and then creates another birth certificate and to the federal government. The federal government registers you as your straw man or your estate, your fictitious being, whatever you want to call it. They register you as that. They send that over to the Treasury. They make the account. That's your Social Security number. They take bonds and they put it on that account, and then it gains interest pretty much for the rest of your life. And all your transactions that you do are collateral to that account. So since you grow up your whole life thinking that they made a company in the same name as you, so you think that's you, so they hold you as surety to any money or any bonds that are made up. You're the collateral.
Facts, brother. To further elaborate on what you just said. You mentioned lawful and legal money. Can you break it down a little bit for those that but that are not aware? Just pretty much, what's the difference? We all know the functions of what money does, and what is utilized for. So, can you give us a breakdown on lawful versus legal money?
Yeah. Well, basically, back in the day, the only money that you had was gold and silver. They implemented Federal Reserve notes to stop merchants from getting robbed on the streets and losing their gold and silver. So it's a promise to pay. It was credit. Like from the federal government, you used to be able to take a dollar bill and go to a bank and they'll give you a silver dollar. And then you walk out with your silver dollar. If you want to travel and you needed some money, you take your coin purse, you give it to the bank, they give you paper money. Then when you get there, you can either pay with the paper money and whoever gets it can just cash it in for real cash. So that was lawful money. The bankers basically came over here and they bankrupt the United States and just weaseled their way into a point where the Federal Reserve became our bank, and their Federal Reserve notes became our money. But a Federal Reserve note is a promissory note. It's a promise to pay. It's an IOU. It's not real money. Technically, you can't pay credit with credit. So lawful money is gold and silver. They took all the gold and silver from all the Americans and they gave it to the Federal Reserve Bank. And the money is just sitting in the bank somewhere. It's probably in like the Vatican or some shit like that. But
right,
the actual money.
so pretty much
the banks use lawful money. You'll never get lawful money. You'll never see lawful money. You'll never get your hand on it unless you become a bank.
right. So pretty much, in a nutshell, they replaced the barter that was in place before, where we were exchanging goods for actual services or other goods. And now we are just living under a promise to be paid in exchange for this fiat currency that we are currently under for a limited amount of time, because we all know that's going to go a separate way with that real soon. But can you tell us a little bit about how these bonds were created without people realizing what was going on?
People don't really like to read.
Could you repeat that one more
again? People don't like reading. Majority of the stuff that'll change your life is in books. They don't really put it on movies. You might be able to find a little bit about it on YouTube, but majority of it is it's in books. Like they put it all in books, like all the remedies. Like, the bankers who created the system had to be able to control the system. So it's a remedy for pretty much anything, any problem that you have, and pretty much every law that's out there, every set of law, trust law, common law, civil law, maritime law, all the different laws. There's a remedy to get rid of debt. Debt in the Bible was sin. Like you're not supposed to be in debt. You're not supposed to have debt on you. It's considered sin. So it was never set up for that.
Right. So when
But it was, they took it from Babylon, and Babylon was the first nation to run and perfect this, and then Rome took it from them, and then Rome and the church spread it all over everywhere under the you go die or you go join this. Yeah.
Those are facts. Those are so facts.
It sounds so crazy though, because it's like this thing like that they have created, you know, called like an economy or whatnot, or you know what I'm saying? It literally is very cancerous. They literally, everywhere it's gone, it's also left. You know what I'm saying? In a sense, like, so it's this thing to where it's literally set up to eventually be bankrupt. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, once you start the game, the end of the game is to be bankrupt. It doesn't matter if you're a country, continent, village, or whatever. Once you get into the monetary system of exchange, you will eventually be in bankrupt. And then that's when, like you say, they slide in and say, well, hey, listen, you ain't got no money and we got a lot of it, but you got to do now what we tell you to do.
I mean, once you control the money, if all the rich people in the world, they control the world, so they change the economy, they do inflation, they're the reason all that happens. Just wake up one day and, hey, we want to do it. I mean, the economy is set up to basically make you a slave, a mental slave. You become a slave to your debts. Everything you want is going to put you further in debt, and they're going to show you all day long different stuff you want, different cars, different houses, different lifestyles that you want and you want to obtain. So you got to work and stress and give your body and give your energy and give your blood and give your sweat and give your tears to get this. And
hey, brother, excuse me. I should have had my camera on so y'all can see that I was trying. I wish I could like wave, man. I'm probably going to put it in the private chat when I really want to say something. But what I was going to say, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but the word eco means like earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like they be really playing with us. They'll tell us, you know, economy or economics. Like, you know, economics, when you put nomics on a word, it means the law of. So we talking about the law of the earth, huh? You know what I'm saying? Are we truly doing that? Or like economics or economy? You know, normally truly means name. So it's like saying, are we studying the you know what I'm saying, the names of the ecosystem? I don't think so.
It's I think it's more supposed to be like the monetary system, the money exchange.
I'm just
the
showing
Bible is technically the Bible is technically common law. Like the Bible talks about everything from lawyers to bankers to Jews to all of it. Like that was the law of the land. That's common law. It turned it into a religion. It's a book of commerce. It's telling you how you're supposed to live your life, basically.
I think Calico was kind of pointing out the spell of the, you know what I'm saying, of the word that they chose to identify what this is a spell that attracts you to it because of, like you say, nature. We're very natural people, you know what I'm saying? And then the nomics, like you say, the study of, like, we're curious, you know what I'm saying? So it's like that spell and words are very important. Definitely.
They were way more important back then than they are now. They've changed a lot of the meaning. So a lot of the words, a lot of stuff that we say don't have the meaning we think it has because we've never actually looked it up. So that's true.
Even scary, it still does, and we're casting spells.
Yeah, we just don't know
that we're casting
until you look it up, and then you're like, oh God. Yep.
So when we're looking at this money, brother, that we're utilizing, would you say that that money holds any actual value now? Because we all are aware that when we're speaking about fiat money, and
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure you mentioned that the last time, when we look at the dollar, within the dollar, it says that it's a note. So what kind of note? It's a promissory note because it don't hold no actual value. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if it don't, then it's a promise to be paid. But is it really getting paid? Does this money have any value behind it, brother?
Kinda. Um, Not literally. Literally, it's just paper. But I mean, we kill for it. We sell drugs for it. We steal for it. We beat up people for it. So it has value. It just doesn't have like value in the sense that it's credit. But your whole life you've been told that you need this. Like you have to have it. So it's intrinsic value, if you would.
Yeah.
Most definitely, most definitely. So when the money actually was being backed by a commodity or a precious metal, well, what we call precious, because when we look at gold in general,
Mhm.
gold is just a mineral. It doesn't hold any actual value other than the value that we give it because of
Mhm.
what we're utilizing it for. So gold
Well,
is very well a conductive material. So it is in today's society is utilized for a lot of things.
I
But as
was going to
far
say
Mhm.
also,
Mhm.
uh, I wouldn't say it doesn't hold value. I think we just haven't studied that gold is a crystal, and the value that gold holds is uh, what is the word I want to use? Ageless. It keeps you youthful. Hence the vampire effect when you see it on movies.
Yeah.
A lot of people
Yeah.
don't know that.
They put it
Gold
in.
is
They put it in
anti.
water.
It's
Gold
literally
water.
anti-aging. That's its health property.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. It's antioxidant. That means the cells won't die. You know what I
Right.
mean? That's the thing about oxidation. Oxidation.
Like
Yeah. That means
some
that
of
means that that means the electrons have left whatever the thing is. You know what I mean? So when
Mhm.
oxygen kicks in, I mean obviously the cell is dying. But we need oxygen to live. So is
Yeah.
that I always say it's that Ouroboros.
So I would say that's kind of the reason why if whoever created this system chose something, they chose that. And they
Mhm.
chose it because we chose it initially when they came to see us and we had so much of it. Because we realized, what I'm saying, what it can do. And that's why the most powerful person normally had the most of it. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that wasn't on accident. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It
That's
was. I
purposely.
mean, really,
We just don't know.
we we never really broke free of Britain. Majority of the stuff, our traditions and stuff over from here, we got from there. Like we didn't win our independence. We paid for our independence.
those
So
those are absolute facts, because a lot of people are under the impression that that after this war that occurred over here, that all these Brits went back home and it was like, yay, we won. But they don't realize the fact that there was already a contract that had been made
mhm.
previously before the war. The war was literally financed both sides by those people over there so they could in place
It
the
was, yep,
system that they already
yep.
had in place over in
And
America.
it's all insured. All the soldiers were insured. All the slaves were insured. All the slave boats were insured. If
See,
they
Okay.
if they if they hung a nigga back in the
see,
day, they got paid for it. That's why they was killing us just to kill us. Because
And I
yeah,
have a question. I just always money always kind of interests me, but it was just the credit and interest and how they interweave into money is very interesting to me. You know what I'm saying? It's literally like the secret sauce to I feel of the bankruptcy process that's going to happen.
mhm.
Insuring. How do you insure something that doesn't exist, which is credit? Just think about that whole concept.
hey,
Yeah,
hey, hey, I ain't gonna lie, I just wanted to add because we was talking about the colonizer, in effect. So See, the word colonizer makes it simple to see that we really truly talking about a lot of people, and we're not talking about one group. So the people that we give the credit for creating the U.S., those colonizers, well, they are not the British colonizers. And when you study each state's constitution, you'll see what side of the field they was on. Like Georgia, the Georgia Constitution is under, King George, obviously. That's what we're talking about, Georgia. So we're talking about the British. And their constitution only acknowledges them and never really acknowledges, the colonials that we give credit to being those 13 colonies or whatever. What was it? 13 colonies. Yeah, like they're really not supposed to be nowhere but Washington, D.C., those little 13 square miles. But obviously, they played on our minds to not even look at our own constitutions and see what's still going on.
Yeah, I mean, they just throw a bunch of shit in your face, bro, distract you. People, like I said, people don't really like reading, and it's really fucked up because they used to kill us for reading, and everything is in the books. Like, yep.
The epigenetics of going through trauma on trying to learn. So now that's why we kind of low key, if you notice, when we're young as kids, we chastise the kids who want to learn.
Mm-hmm.
We have generations of epigenetics of trauma for trying to learn, and that's deep right there. You know what I'm saying? That's the
school system is set up to make you fit in and be a worker. That's what it trains you to be. Fit in and be a worker. Work the rest of your life. Exactly. Go in this debt for it and pay us back every time.
Look, because they know the best thing about school, period, is socializing. And they won't let the kids even do that walking in the hallway. You can't even do it for 5 minutes. So they're trying to train them to conduct themselves like good workers. Yep. You feel me? Knowing that people only like school because of social, the social life.
Yep.
Yep. And so, Calico, I'm glad you joined us today because I know your Moorish teachings allows you. Why is it that basically the Moors all know about this stuff? Moors will go expatriate their ass off. They'll UCC 1 and know the entire process. Why is that when we're all mixed here together? Is there a secret about us going to get our piece of the pie? Or why the average Negro don't know anything about this? And Sean, you too. Both of y'all.
Niggas don't like to read.
I mean, I put all the blame on us. But that is.
I mean, it ain't all. Like majority of the information was hidden. They make it hard. They didn't change the language. They didn't brainwash us in a lot of stuff. So it's a system set up for that. They get taught. Like once one person knows, that whole lineage.
I saw Dr. Arlene Bay do the whole thing on here, and he was really, really patient and articulate with it. Yet people still didn't know how to do it. They may get a better idea and start looking up some stuff after we're talking about it. Calico already knows about this stuff. I'm just saying, how come Moors know about more stuff than us? And is it just because they read more? Moors know law. They definitely know about all of this contract and stuff. They know Constitution.
Yeah, that's what noble means, knowledge. So you can't be noble if you're not knowledgeable. You know what I mean? For sure. We pride ourselves on that. Yeah, and in ancient times, what we call it ancient times, royalty was called nobility. And nobility means, obviously the knowledgeable. So we talking about the lawyers, the doctors, the same people that's on top. And to a degree, because now they got people that have no skills, no intellect, and they still on top. So it's only supposed to be the noble. And that means we would have a place in this world. higher than wherever we at right now. If if everything was really balanced.
Yep.
And so, do white people do this on a regular, or just like some who just got that knowledge, or are they turning 18 and going to get their trust?
Oh
Because
yeah, more
why would
like
they?
yeah.
Because we might be.
I think it's probably like the 1%, the Donald Trumps that got $1 million and then blew up and became a billionaire, because it's a lot of false information out there too. It's a lot of different stuff. It's a lot of different names for it. I just feel like if you had the means to print your own money, my life is gonna show it. Like, once I get my birth certificate and put it in there, like that's something that you can't really hide. I feel like I think it's just like the 1% know about the actual mechanics of it. Because now you got to think with technology, a lot of the stuff is ran by computers. It's not even ran by a person. It's a person just sitting there making sure the computers go.
So where's their actual privilege coming from then?
I think it's just the system was set up by white people. So it's a lot of.
But they can't tell if you're white or not if it's a machine, or can they?
Depending on, I mean, most black people got black people names. Like you can't tell everybody, but you can.
Not only that, but check this out. Your driver's license number, every part of that means something, showing the officials something about you. So surely it's coded, your race is coded into your maybe social security number, driver's license number, and everything. So knowing how to code would allow them to code certain things in, because when you know how coding works, there's nothing in there by accident. There's nothing in there that don't need to be in there. They told it what to run. They told it what to look for. If you see this, then do this. If it's this way, then do that. They wrote that shit is so called.
I mean, I wouldn't even put it past them that we got certain codes in our social security number that only black people have, and white people have other codes, and Hispanics got other codes. Like America lied about a lot of stuff.
I was under the impression that depending on your on what your last 4 digits were, you're able to determine whether you're white, black, Hispanic, or Asian, or whatever the hell.
Put it past them.
There is a code. I can't recall of the knowledge right now, but you might want to. I mean, everybody might want to look into. I'm going to look into it again, because when I read that information, I had not put together as much as I know right now as far as the legal system that is in place. But there is something with your social security where the last 4 digits are that's the reason why when you go to a job, it asks you for your social, because you could put it where it says race, you can put whatever you want to right there, but with your social, they gonna know who you really are.
Yep.
Aside from the fact that that the social is being used in the stock market, but
because when they give you the social security card used to say not for identification purposes, but now they give it to you and they tell you not to give it to anybody, but they don't ever tell you why, like why you shouldn't. They're going to steal my identity. No, they can get at your money. They can get at all your money.
Wow.
It's an account. If you get your loan form birth certificate, you'll have the other account, your birth certificate account.
Damn.
The bond numbers is on the back in all red. Like it's.
How are these white folks being able to live like they do, like so many of them? And I'm not talking about the 1% now. I'm talking about like I'm in Wisconsin, so Milwaukee is predominantly where the Negroes live at. But when we go right up to Menominee Falls or Waukesha, all the houses are laid out and immaculate, and it's a lot
Yeah.
of them. Apparently,
I mean, I can answer that. I went to a predominantly white school. Like,
right, absolutely.
white people's parents helped them and trained them on credit and stuff when they kids, and they helped them. Majority of them helped them buy their first house, helped them buy their first car. Like, they helped them along in life.
Mm-hmm.
Most black people, my parents didn't know about credit. They didn't fuck with credit when I was growing up. So, like, you don't get taught that. You don't really get taught money. You get taught work to make money. This is how you make money. You don't really get taught why you're making money. You don't get taught anything about it. White people get, all of them don't have all the knowledge, but you get taught the simple stuff like credit and how to get good credit score. White people will take out a credit card in their kid's name and pay it every month. So when he get into college, he already got a 750 credit score. You got a 750 credit score, you can shake life. It's all about knowledge and lack of knowledge. Like, if your parents is teaching you this, then you go know it. You go teach your kids and your kids and your kids, and eventually your whole family gonna start going up. But if you don't know it, then your family just go like this. And that's why most black people don't know it. So it's just straight across through generations.
And it's so evident. It's like you've come to a mental block to where you don't know something, and now you need to add more to yourself so you can know more, so you can do more. It's really that simple. Like, it is, you have to learn to do. Like, even the job a person's on right now doing, they had to have training before they started doing the job. You know what I'm saying? So there's always a point of educating yourself to do everything. So the person that educates themselves is always going to be the person that's successful. Like, there's not bums on the street that have a wealth of knowledge. If so, they wouldn't be bums. That doesn't make sense.
But you gotta think, majority of people live paycheck to paycheck. It's not a lot of people. The average income of white people is only like 50,000 for men. Like, white people ain't just out here balling like that. Like, it's just
no, but their houses look like
better than us in a certain area. But then you live in area, see them living
off credit
in the ghetto.
Yeah, they living
a
off credit.
lot of them is living paycheck to paycheck and living off credit. They know a little bit more than us. So, and you got your parents to help. The ones that don't end up on the street.
Look right here. That question. So why did they drop the word noble and all that? See, it's a lot of things that go into it. Like if I tell you that we the real Aryans, people don't want to connect to that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm not an Aryan. You know what I'm saying? But we the real Aryans. That's why you see it on words like Rastafarian, or even when you saying a veterinarian, and all of these, it seems like a tie, because you're gonna see that it shows nobility. You feel me? Anytime you see an Aryan, a breatharian, you feel me? These people real life specialize in breathing. I'm talking about, like, don't eat, don't drink, just breathe, and they living. I ain't lying, bro. It's crazy.
Let me address this.
Wait, can I address a comment that basically said I don't know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's what, before you.
$10.99.
Hey, can I add? Don't let them goat y'all into messing up the video, because this video is good for the youth. I don't care how young a person is.
I was gonna say, like, no offense to anybody that's in the chat. Like, just you can say whatever you want to. We're just gonna just talk. We don't have to even acknowledge, and not to be like disrespectful, to not say we're not acknowledge you being there. But hey, we just came as to build. We're not finna be checking on the chat. That's we
I mean, I like answering questions. So, like, if you got a question, just ask the question, so it'll give us a lot more to talk about and go deep on. Just ask the question. Like,
Right.
like if you know more about something, don't be like, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. Just be like, hey, bro, go into this more. What did you mean by this? Problem solved.
Yeah,
We'll talk about it.
Get him, boys. And look at it. What's the symbolism on his name anyway?
And I think
hold on, he typed something else. You get your 88 number for your estate, and you pronounce your straw man dead. And then you get your 98 number, which is a foreign estate, and you get another 98 number, which is a foreign trust. And then you liquidate your birth certificate, you liquidate your driver's license, you liquidate your house deed, you liquidate all the contracts you've made, and you put it into a foreign trust. And then you become a private, unincorporated bank. You can write your own money. You can exchange bills between the United States. You can do all that, but you got to take the steps. Until you take the steps, you public.
That's deep.
So, is that the answer to you don't liquidate the trust?
Yeah.
Or the benefit?
You liquidate it all. When you get to a point that you can liquidate it, you probably, this is probably going over because you weren't here. Like when you get to a point that you're ready to actually become sovereign, you spent your entire life signing your name on contracts all over the place. All these have bonds on it. All these are ties to the government. How you gonna become private if you got all these ties to the government? It's a 1099A. 1099A is acquisition and abandonment of secure property. 1099B is a brokerage form. 1099C is a cancellation of debt. I suggest you look those up. It'll change your life.
Mm-hmm.
And those are some things. Oh, go ahead, sis.
No, I just booted him. I don't want to see him anymore.
Oh no, I was gonna say, and those sound like some practical things that can be done like immediately, right?
It takes time. You gotta get your long form birth certificate. That's gonna take 90 to 100 days. Then you gotta write up a security agreement between your straw man and between yourself. A power of attorney. You gotta copyright yourself. Then you gotta do a UCC 1. Then when you do all that and send it in, it takes 3 months for the bond secure. And then the Treasury will, once the money is in the account, the Treasury will send you a Treasury card to let you know that the money is there. But you can get your estate number tomorrow. You can get your 98 number tomorrow. It's just right now you really can't do with them until you get to that point. But I got my estate number. At this point I just gotta make myself a death certificate and send it in.
Yep. Anybody that's called a minor obviously is not this. And the people that you hear of that are not minority, they are living like this. I promise you. That's why, they'll be like, oh, some white people are minorities too. Yeah, I know. Because they don't have this knowledge. You know what I mean? So at the age of 18, you're supposed to actually get in your proper person status. Or 6 months after turning 18. Yep. But look how old we are.
Yep.
Just truly realizing that. I know I was at least about 28 when I realized, dang, I was supposed to do that at 18. You know what I mean? So
when you become a man, you're supposed to step up and administer your estate. You're supposed to take over it. It's supposed to be on you. You're supposed to use it to take care of your family. Like, just they don't teach you. Don't nobody really teach you. And then they try to scare a lot of people. A lot of people will get the information. They just be too scared to do it.
And what kind
Somebody
of
said,
what kind of legalese is it if if you can have that money right now, but you need somebody over you. Say you're the beneficiary of it, but you gotta go.
That's trust law. It's 3 positions in a trust. It's the grantor, which is the person that gives you the money. It's the trustee, which is the person that administrates the trust, and it's the beneficiary. You can't be all 3 at one time. You can only be 2. So you're already, since you didn't set it up, you're automatically the beneficiary. You're not the grantor because the government gave you the money, and you can't be the trustee. So you have to delegate that to someone else. When you give a bank your social security number, they become your trustee. When you get a car dealer your social security number, they become your trustee. Which trust law governs a lot of stuff, because once someone takes your social security number, they now have a fiduciary duty. A fiduciary duty means that you must act in the best interest of the trust. So like, and I was gonna do this, but I ain't really want to. I'll be trying to take the road of least problems. But really, you can apply for a car, and then if they deny you, you can send them a conditional acceptance, and then you can really put liens on them for not giving you that car because you did a fiduciary breach. This is against the law. This is punishable by a felony. It's a fine. It's a felony fine, or it's a year in jail. Like I can have you locked up for a year for doing this.
Damn.
I don't like fucking with people like that. Like if I can get some money without having to mess your life up, if you don't do nothing real bad to me, then I ain't gonna do it. But did you ever look up conditional acceptance, Mr. Prophet?
I'm about to do it right now, bro, on this other screen. And that's
yep. That's one of my favorite words.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What's that? Conditional acceptance?
A fiduciary.
So if you want something done, like if you got a court case or you know what I'm saying, you want something to do with somebody, look up IRS form 56. That's how you sign fiduciaries. So I can just if you took an oath and you actually, if you take my social security number, I just send you this form and I'll send one to the IRS, and now you a fiduciary. Now, if you don't act in the best interest of my trust, I can come for you.
Hold on, say that one more time.
This form allows you to appoint people fiduciaries of your trust. So I can give you the duty of doing what's best for my trust.
Being that they're accepting my autograph and my social security number.
Mm-hmm. No, you take a copy of this, you send it to them, and you take a copy, you send it to the IRS. So it's going to tell the IRS that you're appointing them as a fiduciary over your trust, and it's telling them too. So now they have a fiduciary duty. Now, if they do anything that's not beneficial to your trust, you can come after them in small claims court. You can hit their insurance. If you sending something into a government official, I'll send one of them.
Is this
how
like,
long they got to respond?
It puts a. They're not going to respond.
Is this some form?
They're not going to respond. That's why you send it to the IRS. The IRS, you're going to register with the IRS, and you're going to send it to them too. The majority of the time, they're not going to respond to you. The government really doesn't respond to you unless they want to tell you you're doing something wrong, or they want to tell you to stop doing something, or unless they got some money, and then they might. It's got to be a large sum. Then they might. But even what, did you ever look up conditional acceptance?
I'm looking at that right now. It says, let's see what's the best acceptance. It says conditional acceptance means acceptance of supplies or services that do not conform to contract quality requirements or are otherwise incomplete, that the contractor is required to correct or otherwise complete by a specific date.
Yeah. So basically, any bill you get, anything you get in the mail, like any piece of paper that you get in the mail, it's a contract. They're trying to contract with you. So everything is negotiable. You can negotiate that contract. You have the right to negotiate that contract. Any contract, every contract. Although it says non-negotiable on it, it's a negotiable instrument. So say if they send you a bill, send you your phone bill, you can send them back a 1099-A paying for the phone bill and send them a conditional acceptance. And if they don't accept it, then you can go after their insurance. Just mailbox rule is if I send you something certified mail and you sign for it, you contractually agree to whatever is in that package you just signed.
What?
Before you read it.
Hence the reason why you sign it. Anytime you sign it, you basically are contracting something.
They send it back. This is my wet signature for my contract that I sent to the Secretary of the Treasury to put the liens on Navy Federal. That means he got it. He signed for it. You can't be like, no, I didn't. Yeah, I got your wet signature.
Damn.
Send him a fiduciary form too.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so
Right.
So because it sounds like it's similar to like a lien or something like that. Like
it is. I'm not a secure party creditor yet, so I didn't want to put the liens on them myself. So I did a contract with the U.S. Treasury, Janet Yellen, and sent her a contract giving her 35%. I'm putting a lien on them for $3 million. I told her if she collects it, she can keep 35%.
Damn.
And I'm just waiting to hear back. She got it. I sent it like 2 weeks ago.
Does she have to respond?
She probably not gonna respond. They probably just gonna do it. They don't normally respond. They're just when I hear from her, it should be a letter saying, "Hey, we collected the money for you."
And I got my 35%.
And they're either gonna put it in my trust or they're gonna send me a treasury card. I want them to send me a treasury card. Go ahead and give me the account I need. Like,
okay,
I want to wait on that. I want you to go ahead and give it to me.
I'm a little bit confused. How's the stock market or the bonds? How can other people just be all up in your accounts like that?
What you mean?
I think it's your signature and your social that.
Yeah, you get them permission. By giving them your social, you get them permission.
I mean, okay,
I'm
talking about at the beginning when we're first born and the birth certificate is signed.
Your parents sign you over to the state.
Yeah, you got women signing things that are under Upper Durham. You're probably not legally even supposed to be signing nothing. You're under drug. You got drugs in your system. Women are signing birth certificates. That's a contract.
When you sign the birth certificate, that's the contract.
Hey, I don't give it. Hey, even if she ain't on no epidural, no nothing, look what she going through.
Right.
And you trying to fool, you know what I'm saying? That's under threat, duress, and coercion. If I've never seen it a day in my life.
Right. I mean, I would let them do it. That's $1 million in your child's name the day they born. Just take control of it. Like, soon as you get the meal, take control of it. Yo, they make your kid a millionaire. You got 3 kids, they all millionaires the day they born. Like, if you completely stop them from doing the birth certificate, then you don't get the money. It's never there. It's never put in that account. It's never made in their name. So if you do the contract and let them make the stuff in their name and give them the social number, and then take
it's
over
a free life insurance policy, basically.
Yeah.
Hey, no wonder they call. Hey, brother, no wonder they call Fidelity.com because they, number one, they infidels. But I'm just saying they're really talking about fiduciary duties.
Yeah.
And they acting on our behalf.
So I have to find a video, but this dude told me how to find majority of my bonds, the on ledger bonds that they've made in my name on Fidelity, and I swear it was like 570 of them. I'm finna find out. I took a screenshot of them.
Damn.
It was like 570 from 10,000 to 35,000. Some of them 15 years old, some of them year old, some of them 20 years old. Like
so I'm pretty sure you heard of discharging debt.
Yeah.
See, that's what we're trying to get to. That's what we're telling them, to the point that we can
do that. You can do that with the 1099A and the conditional acceptance.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. We all trying to get to that point. Everybody, not only on this panel, but I'm sure everybody listening, trying to get to that point where we can discharge debt. Like we can go get the nice house built from the ground up and write it off, man. Discharge the debt. That's what they're doing. Like if people really studying their politicians, people do all the voting, but people don't really study their politicians and see the moves they making. The politicians are discharging that $1 million house, that $500,000. They discharging debt.
Them is some of the bonds.
Damn.
I took a screenshot of them, and it wouldn't even let me screenshot all of them. Like, so they basically make bonds out in your name for pretty much everything you do, every ticket you get, every time you sign the lease, pretty much everything you do. And this motherfucker, that's the whole thing. It's long as shit, and I wouldn't even all of them.
Damn.
So like pretty much everybody.
I was gonna say it's almost like a contract creates money.
Your signature creates
money. Exactly, because what is the dollars that we have right now? It's the same thing. It's called a promissory note.
Yep.
So yeah, that signature on a piece of paper is the exact same thing. You just promised in a note.
And you are totally correct. What is a contract? A contract
is that same thing. It's a promissory note.
To do something. All right. So damn.
Yeah.
But all right, discharging debt. If you take a 1099A, and when they send you a bill, send them a 1099A. If you got it 1099A, they're free if you get them from the IRS form, or you can do them online at 1099 online. Do a 1099A for the payment of your bill. If it's a car, do it for the full price of the car. If it's a mortgage, do it for the full price of the mortgage. Send it to the IRS. They'll give you a copy to send to whatever bill maker you have, and send it to them. You just paid for the bill.
So
now it's a couple
I got one question.
Yeah.
I got one question. Do people now realize what Kanye West was saying when he said slavery is a choice? I dropped the mic.
Yeah. People got mad at him for that, but it's mental slavery. Donald Trump said it. He was like, they asked him for his tax shit, and he was like, if you pay taxes, you stupid. And it was like, what does he mean?
Right.
Exactly.
If you pay taxes, you stupid. That's what he means.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And all the stupid people hate him because he don't pay taxes. What kind of president
saves money? Like what? Right?
Yeah.
But no, okay. So it sounds like what you're saying with this 1099A. It kind of gives whoever you're doing business with, have a owe debt to, the opportunity to take money from the trust. But now they can't double dip you and still bill you for the money they're gonna take out of the trust, and they get paid and they're satisfied, and you get to keep the item that you owe debt for.
Yeah, it's yours.
All right, so
we just cleared that. Hey, Sean, I'm gonna say this is what I had. See, this is what I wanted to ask you, right? Put it like this: your mom, because I'm gonna use you so you can kind of see the picture. What I'm saying. Let's say you, mom, y'all seen it, right? Your mom do the same thing. 1099. She get, like she becomes the sole benefactor of her, account. Y'all seen me.
I mean, she's already a beneficiary.
Okay.
Like, so you don't have to do anything to become the beneficiary. She's already a beneficiary.
See what I'm saying is, when a person passes, would we be able to leave that still in the family in a trust so that it could still be access to all, like all of your benefactors, you know what I'm saying, your beneficiaries. So all that would move. So I'm saying, like, basically all our ancestors, we'd still be able to like have that estate to that level. Like we'd have a huge estate in a few years, or
they normally, I think they trade it. It's an abandoned. It's about acquisitions and abandonment. After a while, it's abandoned property, and the state go take it. I think it's they trade on it for like 10 years after their death, and then after 10 years, it become theirs. If you ain't got it. Like my dad died not too long ago, and I don't think I want to hit his wife up, but his new wife, and but I don't fuck with her, but I want to see if she'll give me his estate EIN, because then I can get access to his money. But I just don't think she's gonna give it to me. And when I ask her for it, it's so out of character. She probably finna ask me why, and I can't really tell her why. So it's like I gotta try to find a way to get his EIN for his estate so I can get his money before it go.
So question.
Yeah.
If a person has power of attorney of somebody in the family that has passed or whatever, and there's a death certificate, isn't that a form of insurance also?
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, they're gonna trade it for a while and then they're finna take everything from it.
There's no way to obtain that particular.
You gotta take over a state. You have to take over as a state, and you have to start liquidating stuff. Like you have to take over fiduciary. You have to take over everything. Like when a person passes, well, really to get your estate number, all you got to do is go on the IRS government site and click I want to have an EIN number, and then it'll have a spot for an estate, and it'll give you an estate number. But giving an estate, people do that after they die. So you're basically, when you do it, you're basically saying that your straw man has died. So then you want to set up fiduciary forms between yourself. You want to set up private contracts between yourself, saying that you're the manager and executor over that estate, and then you want to send all that shit into the treasury, and then you can start doing whatever you want to do. But it's the same process. If you do the process for yourself, you would just start doing it for your family members and stuff. And with the estate, the end process, you're gonna have a foreign trust. So it's not gonna be a trust from here, it's not gonna be taxable, they're not gonna be able to touch it. So when you pass after the process, all your stuff will be in the trust. So you just leave access to the trust to your kids. When they turn 18, you can just take their money and you can put it in your trust or set up a trust form.
Right. Okay.
Sister Yasini, you wanted to ask a question about
Calico wanted to see this on display, so I'll let you explain what's going on with it, Calico.
Oh, he got the green, the blue, and the red seal. He got the green, the blue, and the red seal. Yeah, them is completed. I think the number 2, if I believe, that's lawful money. That's the United States dollar.
And what's not United States dollar then?
The Federal Reserve note. That's not the United States dollar. That's the Federal Reserve dollar. If the United States notes has United States Treasury on them. That's what you'll never see those. They stay in the bank.
Okay, so the top one is with Andrew Jackson is the Federal Reserve note.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it looks just like well, no,
that's
old money. The one with Lincoln on it is called blue notes, right? That's old school money.
I haven't really seen, both of them is real old. The red one is like from back. Like that's an old dollar bill. That's a United States note. Like I think they got rid of them in like the 1930s. Like that's an old note.
There's a date.
I've never seen the blue one before, but you can see it says the United States of America on it.
I thought that red one's red because is that a $2 bill?
Yeah, it's a $2 bill.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a date on there saying 1963.
63. Well, 63. Could have been 63. All that shit was old. I know they went bankrupt in 1933, but that's when they took all the gold and the silver. That's when they took all the gold and the silver from the people and then they signed the U.S. Treasury over to the Federal Reserve and started letting them print unlimited notes.
Yeah, the bottom one says is a 1963 series. The middle one is a series 1953A, and the other one says series. The top one says series 1999, but that's a piece of garbage. That's just Federal Reserve. That's got the little eagle. Oh, I see. The difference is the United States Federal Reserve seal, and the other ones don't have that seal.
So Sean,
Hey,
all right,
that's my bad. I had to go get my popcorn. I seen the text about the. Hey, but see, this is a picture I wanted y'all to share. And right there on that $5 bill, you can see at like under Abraham Lincoln where it says $5. It said in silver.
Mm-hmm.
Payable to the bearer on demand. See, that's what we're talking about when we say lawful money. Like that was a silver certificate or a gold certificate, right? So basically, our dollar was backed by gold. So just like the price of gold has increased and inflated, our dollar would have inflated. So we would have went from paying 50 cents to 5 cents. Like, our dollar would have had more power. But instead, we went from 50 cents. Now we got to pay $5 for something that's 50 cents.
So I mean that's bad, but that's good too with inflation because all your contracts are in lawful money. So when they liquidate it, they got to convert it.
Yeah, they inflate
Federal
too.
Reserve notes,
Okay,
which I think one silver dollar is like 7 Federal Reserve notes now, or something like that, 7 or 8, some shit like that.
Yeah, it's like a buffalo nickel, man. You already know it's worth more than a nickel.
Yeah.
Which explains the reason why the United States went and sanctioned the shit out of Russia, and these motherfuckers like, oh yeah, check this out, from now on fuck the dollar, and they went, and now their money is literally backed by gold. They're the only actual real money out there right now, because their currency is actually backed by a certain amount of gold every time you collect a certain
amount. Who is that?
Yeah, Russia. I think Russia is the only place that don't have a central bank. Like
I know
Russia
y'all
ain't with the shit.
Yeah,
I know y'all heard of gold dinars. Like you got gold dinars. You got bullion. Like, bro, they real life got it where you can go get it straight out the ATM. I'm trying clink, 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 clink. So if you hear one of them Britain people with it sound like a pocket full of money change, that ain't no change. No, he got the real deal. He got that silver. You know what I mean? Like they
kind of like that money they be using on like that John Wick movie.
I ain't seen it. I know I ain't seen it. But I'm pretty sure you're right.
Yeah, there's movies. There's parts in the movie to where they're making transactions and they're not using dollars; they're using coins and they're gold. You know what I'm saying? And
and guess what? Over there, like the fiat currency that we use, they would let you buy anything except for like precious metals. You cannot buy precious metals with fiat in their part of the world. But they'll let you eat. They'll let you, sleep, drink, whatever, because because the money don't mean none of them. But they're not gonna let you get these precious metals with that fiat currency.
That's the real money.
Right.
Everybody is still under the same debt system. Everybody got paper money now, so that's the real money.
Right. That's a deep.
I'm surprised the United States still let us buy gold and silver, but I mean our gold got silver and platinum and other shit mixed in with it, so. You got to melt it down and take the silver out and just get a solid gold block.
And that just really steers the conversation to have full understanding that, like you say, it's not really the paper money. It's actually the crystals that's on this planet that are the valuable things. Once again, silver is, it kills germs on contact. Hence the reason we eat with silverware.
Antimicrobial. Yeah, right. That and silver.
Right. Right. So it's not these things. Right.
That's why that's the real reason they're precious metals.
Right. They're not just precious just because they shine. You know what I'm saying? They actually have healing properties. But these are the ones that have been placed at the top. All crystals have properties. You know what I'm saying? So if we get into that more, we can kind of, believe it or not, fix things that's going on in our life. You know what I'm saying? We can get to if we get other crystals, we can actually get to the gold and silver crystals that we want financially. I know that sounds crazy, but it's actually.
Bro, we're alchemists. Yeah.
Yep. That's dope.
We form an emotional attachment to moments in history, to narratives in history, to people in history. And those emotional narratives then bind us to an idea
It depends on if they silver
that
or
may
if
not be
they nickel.
supported by evidence.
If they nickel, then
And then we look for the evidence that supports our narrative rather than allowing the evidence to drive